All right. Well, Joe, welcome to Talk of the Town. Very excited to have you today. How are you?
Thank you. Good.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to have you. And it's exciting because not only is it your first time on Talk of the Town, but it's also basically your introduction to townhousing real estate. So if you could, for the audience, give us a little details on what your role is and what you're here to do at townhousing.
Yeah, I am the new director of property management, and my role is to oversee, property management and ensure that owners are being profitable with their portfolio, as well as oversee the leasing, make sure that we are staying within market, and that we are turning around apartments in a fast pace, making sure that, income is the first priority for the owners while developing a good experience for the residents.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tall task too. I mean, after all these years in business and you're just entering into the picture, we've kind of thrown 1,100, 1,200 units and a whole team at you. How's that first few weeks been transitioning into town?
I think it has been awesome. People at town are extremely empowered and smart. Obviously, as a director, it becomes a lot of challenges to come to a team and making them having them believe that, you know your crap and that, you're here to help and not to really boss around, So, but overall, it has been awesome understanding, a small middle ownership. I'm used to, high-end A+ portfolios. And coming to this is just a huge learning experience for me, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's definitely a large shift. So
yeah.
I know what drew townhousing to you is your depth of experience. I know you've worked in many markets, and as you said, you've worked for A+ properties. Can you tell us a little bit about, what a typical property for you in the past looks like and what that type of property has been?
Yeah, so I used to manage buildings that had over 250 apartments. Obviously, oversee all the managers and the leasing as well. Each of these buildings were in different states, Florida, Utah, and then here in Buffalo. And I'm going to be completely honest, it's basically the same thing I'm doing at townhousing with a different niche and market. We were more marketing towards, residential doctors, professionals, as well as students. Here in Buffalo, both of our properties were catered to medical students going to graduate school.
Yeah, so a bit short term, not as long term. Probably individuals coming in for like an efficiency experience.
Yeah.
They're all wrapped up in one package, whereas our tenants are living 1, 2, hopefully 3+ years in these units and enjoying and settling down. So yeah, definitely a shift for you. And tell us, where are you from? Because I know Buffalo is not home.
Yeah.
It is home now, but not where you're from. So where are you from?
Yeah, so I am from Dominican Republic, grew up in different countries, ended up in Buffalo, in Rochester at RIT doing my master's degree, then got a husky and a husband and stayed.
Got a husky and a husband.
Got a husky and a husband.
What's the husky's name?
Ghost.
Ghost,
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
awesome.
Yeah, good boy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're excited to have you. And I know as the owner, it's been a breath of fresh air because you do come in with so much perspective on business. And, you've wanted to drive a project internally, focusing on KPIs and really drilling down into the numbers. Do you have anything you can share about what those short-term goals are and trying to help the team? Like what would be the one thing you start off with when considering KPI project?
Yeah, I think that my goal is to be able to measure our portfolio in a different way instead of per owner, but grouping them, the portfolio per property manager, and being able to measure their success as individuals as well as the success of the owner. So my first approach when it comes to KPIs, I want to make sure that we are really tracking occupancy overall on portfolios as well as a company, as well as incomes, expenses, and making sure that we're staying within the market,
Yeah.
Applying different strategies that you're probably not used to it, but I think it would be a good gig. I think that merging what I learned about resident experience on A+ properties will absolutely could absolutely be applicable to medium and small, and hopefully turn around the delinquency because they're having a great experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think with the KPIs, I'm excited because I think in the past and for many years, I'm sure some clients would agree, we do fall in at times to that firefighter role where with the volume of units or just this industry in general, it's always throwing a left hook at you. So, we've always been, on our toes and building our service to the extent that we can with the knowledge we have and the people we have. Having you come in, I'm excited because with the KPIs, it's a tough industry and profits are you have to watch the profit and you have to really try and target a goal, and it's getting harder. And then costs are going up. You have good cause eviction and restrictions on the industry being put in place. So profitability is difficult at times, and I don't think it is the industry that 10, 12 years ago you can go and buy a 4-unit and cash flow $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So the pressures and the heat are getting turned up a bit. So it's perfect time to have you enter into the team and apply this detailed knowledge. So I'm excited about that.
I'm very excited too.
Awesome.
This is going to be great.
In addition to KPIs, I know you come from a very budgetary focused background. Can you tell us a little bit about what your goals are in regards to budgets and how you plan to implement that at Towne Housing for our clients?
Yeah, so as you know, I am a huge believer that having something set as a budget to present to the owners and get it approved will absolutely make them feel more comfortable and trust that we have their business in good hands, and that we have a plan, right? We have a plan to keep occupancy, to increase rent, and to expenses, which is what owners care the most. So I feel like that will be one of the biggest shifts at Towne Housing. Implementing this budget will absolutely help us to generate obviously more income, as well as helping the owners to generate and feel more comfortable of staying with us and being with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Libby as our CPRO focusing on performance and retention, I'm excited to see, the two of you come together and really rock and roll. And I trust that the two of you will with your industry experience and your knowledge, and with Libby's intimate knowledge of our clients and our operation. I think that's a recipe for a really strong and long-term success. So I'm excited to see that in motion.
Likewise, I can't wait. This year's going to be great.
Yeah. So what is really real quick, a little bit about the market. We talk about your experience in other states and other cities. What is your take on the Buffalo market? I know you've worked in Buffalo for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on the Buffalo industry?
It's very interesting because looking at different markets, I feel like Buffalo has a lot of opportunities, and it has a lot of opportunities I will say in every niche, from C properties to A+. I think that one of the strategies that I feel like will make Towne Housing successful, and that has made other owners successful, is turning around and really looking to what Buffalo is missing. And I think that when it comes to housing, people are looking more towards an experience. People get hang on into a house for longer, into an apartment, not because of the house or the apartment per se, but because of the service. So I think that, shifting that view in Buffalo will absolutely, for us, for Towne Housing, increase our portfolio, as well as, have long-term tenants. I also believe that, we're going through a change of government at the moment, and that I'm very hopeful that with Trump in power, we will be able to, control the economy a little bit, and that, be fair within both sides, owners and residents, which is not the case. I feel like New York is kind of hard when it comes to that. So hopefully that changes.
Yeah, New York's a tough state, and I think for many reasons. And with the shifting government, whichever side you fall on the aisle, I think at the end of the day, pro-business, it'll be refreshing to see that pro-business attitude and the impact that has on our clients. So I know coming into the end of the year was a little dodgy, and this first month of the year has kind of taken off like a rocket. So excited for a full year ahead.
Yeah, me too.
As the new director of property management, what's the one big project you want to focus on now that you're here and we talk about KPIs? What's the biggest challenge you've experienced in your time at Towne Housing?
Very loaded question. I think it's what happens in every single property management company. I think the biggest challenge is to be able to maintain a balance, between our team members, the owners, and the residents. Again, as I said before, I think that making sure that we stay within markets on a Class C and B properties will be, I feel like, the biggest challenge, because right now rents are 13% higher than they were before, and that, there are people that are not able to afford that, and then just being able to find that balance, making it profitable, but as well as just staying within so we don't lose occupancy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think you're the perfect person for the job. So I'm really excited to get to work.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.